Well, I'll be flabbergasted. I had absolutely no clue. I was just going to run up in here and try to look for that old home site. There's an old roadbed right here. I know there's an old home site up here. I promised I would come back out to try to find a pile of bricks. But I was stepping on out of this thing. And I almost stepped on something. It looked kind of awkward. How did my eyes and my mind notice stuff like this? It looks like everything else. How am I always so, I don't know. Evidence. Everlasting evidence. Well, there's no clue it came from here. I mean, what I mean is there's no guarantee it came from here. The dilemmas of archaeology. I mean, the angle of the creek right here. I mean, the river. This could have been carried down here during some kind of flood event, you know, from another creek further up. And just washed up right here. There's no guarantee it came from here. So there's no telling. I mean, for real though. If I toss it up in here, so nature and the landscape can hold on to it, that might be false. Because what if it didn't come from here? What if they didn't inhabit this part of the landscape? Then I would be creating a lie. Huh. I don't know, man. I guess the best thing to do is just to leave it where I found it. Let nature take it over. If they want to carry it further down later, yeah, well, think about this. Dilemmas. I won't be up here long. I'm just going to trek up through here, try to see if I can find some old home site, and then come back down. I just want that evidence. Man, am I so burned out, man. This is day 3 of my vacation. It's a Monday, man. I can barely even get out of bed. I even drank an energy drink and laid back down and almost fell back asleep. Sore to tears, man. I'm hoping no one sees this. I mean, I try to get a perspective on it over here. You can kind of see it. If I hear some boat coming by, you know they're going to stop. But it's going to take us a while to go up here and take a look around. I know it's on the right side of the electrical zone up here. I know that for a fact. If there's any boats that are going to be coming through, man, let's hope they don't come by anytime soon, you know. Let's hope they give us a chance to get on our way back, you know. Scary. Old road just disappears into the top portion of the lake. About that time I stood up in this place. All these years wanted to have the time to explore. I got to make my way around here, further down the river to the right hand side, to do some monumental EVP session or something. I think there's something over there we got to take a closer look at. I mean, the truth is always told within the sounds of nature, you know, the sounds of the entities out here speaking their native tongue. Yeah, but further on down here, about another mile or so to the right, there's like a zone deep inside one of those insets. There's a spot where there's probably about 15 mounds of dirt that are at least 7 feet high, perfectly formed within the backup zone. And I try to do all my investigations and stuff like that as soon as I discover them. There's no evidence of any kind of tree farming or anything like that. For the longest time, timber farming on that side is too close to the creek. Yeah, there's a major creek over there. So those could very well be some kind of Native American mounds or something. The only way to find out truth is to go record and listen to it later. Any trail cams? Probably. Gotta keep a lookout for the rattlesnakes. They're abundant out here, and they are nearly impossible to see from a distance. Well, if they did have some kind of major Native American community out here, let's hope whoever did all this back in the 40s, 50s, whatever, 70s, let's hope they didn't smash anything that might have been fully intact, even though we can't really recover anything out here. It's illegal. The only thing we can do is pick up this kind of trash. Why do you think I got the grabbers? To make a pile. Get it on the way out of here. Beautiful day. Got to keep a lookout for hornet's nest, large snakes, trail cams. Welcome to late July. Well, a little bit after mid-July. I think what's going to happen is that, from my experience last time I was out here on the other side over here when I climbed the hill, I don't do the safest things. All I'm trying to do is just look for the evidence, that's it, of an old home site. I mean, we found it last time we came out here. Man, it's time to go slow. I'm going to be chilling today, get a little bit of exploring in, and sit on a kayak. Yeah, but when we came out here last time, we discovered about 5 pieces of croc. Old croc pieces. And some old stoneware pieces from their dishes and all. But that's when I was on that side. I took the long way last time. Well, because I thought that was the only way to go. And I was just curious to find out what was in the woods. Had a feeling that there was going to be something. And we found it right in the middle of this electrical line thing in the dirt. And then when I looked back at historic aerials from back in the 50s, as far as it went, 1955, something like that, I thought I saw something on the images that looked like an old home site or something. Kind of like, you know, the typical rectangle square that you see in the satellite images. Man, if there's anything out here, I hope they give us a sound first. First, you know. Oh, man. Hope you like my little rinky-dink exploring videos. I'm really not prepared for this, of course. I never am. Look, I'm in this neon green swimsuit, man. We're going to be running into different wildlife that has never seen a human being before. Well, maybe the deer have. This is big hunting territory. They got a hunting cabin up here. I mean, not a cabin, but one of those, you know, one of those spots that you sit in. And you just wait. Oh, there's an old road right here. This is where it's going to drop down into like the... Hold on. Sorry, little guys. I'm just trying to be careful out here. You're going to say follow the old road. This might lead... Well, you know, it's going to go down a hill into like a ditch that's going to be full of water. You're going to say, why don't you stick it to the grass, man? Well, because that's where I remember seeing like it dropped down into a ditch and there's like a bunch of boulders that just are vertical. All right. I think I remember seeing this on historic aerials. Old roads out here from back in the good old days. Could date back as far as the early 1800s. Maybe colonial times. Man, I love exploring. You don't ever know what you're going to come across. Boy, will we ever be in some kind of dilemma if I saw crop pieces out here. Why am I going this way? The old home site's way over here. Look for that evidence. Why am I whispering? Look up and see a trail cam pointed right at us. Man, I'm crazy. I'm having a blast though. It's about 1 o'clock. I'm going to be out here till dark as normal. Wait for ATL traffic to die down, head on out. Is that a piece of the pot? No, it's not. Cool, put it back to the puzzle where it came from. To fit within it. I bet they tear this place up come hunting season, man. I bet these four-wheelers all through this place. I'm trying to get that feeling. I'm hoping someone's going to speak up and say, my grave is over here. I can't afford to take any more time to find more lost graves, man. It's a hobby that just takes forever. I mean, there's still like 6 graves that I'm trying to find. From like 7 years ago. EVP's captured like 7 years ago, man. And I'm still trying to track them jokers down. If I can't find the first one, you know, after all we hear from that long ago, man, it'll take us an eternity just to find the first one. But it's trying to prove something. that the afterlife is so active, you don't even know. Man, for a second there, I thought that was a dang boat, man. Alright. The further I go, the better I feel. Well, it's because I wanted to go deep out in the country someplace and just explore some old dirt roads, like so far out. So far out. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I didn't really intend to do this today. I just want to get on a kayak, and I totally forgot about this adventure. I mean, I don't know exactly what to do if I did come across something crazy, though. There's only so far I can go, though. I mean, what do you expect me to do? Just keep on walking until I can't go any further? I guarantee you it's going to end up at the main highway. And there's going to be some giant gate, typical country gate. All right, let's go try to find this old home site. All it's going to be is a pile of rocks. I think that little hunting thing, that hutch, whatever, I don't know what it was, in the middle of the grassy zone up here. I think it was close by where they were, compared to historic aerials. I think they were practically right next to it. Which means if they saw whatever it was out here, they probably just, they could have done anything though. Spread it all out, destroyed it even more. Let's hope they left it alone to give people like us a chance to come and find it. Back at the junction. I got the grabbers. Basically, so in case I run into a snake that was ready to strike, I can kind of use this not as a weapon, but as a way to kind of like keep them away from us. What am I looking for, man? Here we go. Look how far. Look how steep this hill is, man. This access road, ditch, whatever it is, man. This thing is like an old wagon road, man. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. This is quite invigorating to us, man. What the heck was that? Could have been the electrical wires. They give off some weird vibration due to high winds. They give off this instant noise some of the time. Man, we're so far out here, man. Yeah, see this going uphill. And we're going downhill. Man, there could be anything out here. See, back in the colonial days, back a long time ago, I mean, where people actually lived, even like the natives. Excuse me, spotter, man. Just like the natives, man. They inhabited these places like you'll never believe. And if I see some giant teddy bears staring back at us, what about some wildcats? Ain't nothing like looking at rocks that no human has looked at in God knows how long. Alright, watch us see footsteps out here. And I'm not talking about the wildlife. Yep, exactly what I remember. Of course, it drops all the way down here in this complete washout zone. Dang it. See, that's the other side of the backup zone in the lake over there. You can see the water. Yeah, this is the backup zone when it really gets high out here. That's all it does, is just backflow up in this thing. When you start seeing these little marshy bushes and stuff out here, these grasses that go up to the chest, like right over there, you know there's going to be like water and stuff right up in that thing. And that's where I came up last time. You're going to say you should have done the same thing this time, man. You're a crazy joker. All I want to do is just see some piles of bricks. I want to verify my findings, man. Oh, dang, bro. Heck is that over there? It's moving. Please tell me that's a deer. Yeah, there's some down trees up in here, man. You can see the dip in the trees. You can see the blue sky, the white clouds right through here. That means it curves right around. And it's a marshy zone all the way through that thing, man. I don't think I'm ever going to get around that thing up there, man. Things I get myself into, man. All this for a pile of rocks. Oh, dang, bro. Man, I'm a sissy. Alright, moment of truth, man. Moment of truth, man. Looks like somebody might have just been out here. Look at the things. Yeah, someone's already been out here, dog. You can tell easily. Look how the grass has been. Got the tread marks right here, man. And it goes right up in here. All this passable. I was expecting it was going to be nothing like this but water. You know, kind of like over there. Man, dangerous. Alright, cool. No fresh four-wheeler tracks. Man, I bet this water right here is cold, dude. Hold on, you gotta look for human footsteps from 2 days ago. Oh yeah, that's ice cold, man. That mountain water, dude. That is ice cold. Yeah, I was afraid the whole spot was going to be exactly like this all the way through. Why am I whispering? Because the throat is burned out. I'm tired. Alright, now we're almost to the point where we can't even hear the kayak. Hear somebody on the river. It is a Monday at like 1 o'clock, man, 1:30. You're gonna say, what if someone came out in a kayak? You would never hear them anyway. Then they would see your thing sitting up there, man. They would go investigate, steal something. Got to keep that notion alive in the mind. The further you get out in heavenly places, the more dangerous the wildlife there is to protect it, man. Okay, so apparently, according to historic aerials, it's almost like the structure back in the day. The abandoned structure was partly in this access road. You're going to say, you ain't going to find anything. Probably not. Some of the time they leave stuff out. Some of the time people reuse stuff, you know. Somebody from one of these farms up here could have come out here a long time ago, back in the 40s and 50s, and recovered every single brick, every single thing that they could have used for their own home site. Oh, man, I never saw that. The hunting chair. Anybody up there? Of course not. It ain't hunting season. That's just a rock. No, I'm not digging. I just thought it was a brick. All right. You got the ground cover right here. You got an old road right here. Yeah, remember it was kind of like closer to the hunting thing. What the heck am I doing out here, man? In a swimsuit, man. With a pair of grabbers and a wallet in my right pocket. If the rangers were out here, man. If we got pulled over out here on a golf cart, someone on a golf cart, man. You got any ID on you? But of course I do. Who doesn't out here? Of course I do. Who wouldn't have a wallet out here with them? You guys crazy. All right, got this typical ground cover. All right, where's the privet hedge? Where's the ancient oak tree? All right, there's a clearing up here. All right, where's the trail cam? I see a giant rock. Let's go up there and take a look. Yeah, through this, go figure. Man, I better hurry up if I'm going to go all the way over there and do some EVP sessions, see if I can get the ancient ones out here talking. That's our graves. Here we go, old road, I think. Bulldoze zone. We got 3 rocks piled up right here. That looks kind of strange. Yeah, this looks kind of strange too, though. Another road right here. I know people came out here and bulldozed the crap out of places. It definitely looks like it could have been some kind of old home site. It's cleared out. No ground cover. That's kind of cool right there. Looks like it could have been part of a foundation. There's some more stuff right there. Look at all that just pulled down, man. The pine trees up in here. There's an old hunting structure here. Another access road. Look how far that goes down there. Man, I feel like I'm about to catch a beat down. by some wildlife. Alright, so this is like coming into like a circle. That must mean the home site could have been up here. On top of the hill. Here's another rock. It looks kind of dangerous though, man. All these trees have been pulled down. Middle of nowhere. Hey, look, we got a pregnant pine tree. You're gonna say, look on the hillside. They could have bulldozed a bunch of stuff onto the hillside. All I want to do is just see a couple of bricks. The further I get away from the kayak, the more nervous I get. See, they make this joker impossible to get through. You guys crazy, man. Oh, dang. Well, the Lord makes a way for us to find what needs to be found. You got to make it through the maze of the line work to find it. It's like a game out here, man. You got to use the body. There's a mound right here. Okay, there's a mound. All right. Could have been just simply bulldozed. Yeah. Probably where the house sat a long time ago, or whatever it was. There's another rock. Yeah, we're going up on an incline here. All right. Oh, I think we found it. There's a rock wall right up in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, gotta look out for a well. Excuse me, spider. You're on my face again. Gotta look for the well. Make sure we don't just end up inside of it, you know. All right, good discovery. Got a rock wall right here. All right. Man, I love this hobby. Ain't nothing like exploring. Go far out like this. Rock wall, got some piles up in here. There's the chimney right there. All right, finally made it someplace. Ain't nothing like exploring using technology, man. Wonder how far it goes back. You know, this is what worries me though, man. I mean, they're right next to the hunting thing right here. Another discovery. Old school for real. Got that cool little thing right there. We're gonna say, look for the croc pieces. Well, we already found them in the dirt road area. Who knows? I probably passed right by it last time. I had to have passed right by this thing. I knew I saw something. That didn't like, it looked dark. Like it was giving off some kind of contrast up in here. Like I was looking at all this. And I never even thought that there could have been something like this up in here. Out in the middle of nowhere, man. What you know about that? See, places like this definitely got to be just like cherished forever. Got all foundation portions right here, dug under the house to build the foundation. Who knows what's in that hole right there? Quite the discovery. And hardly anyone comes out to try to look for it. Except the hunters are the ones that find it, see it. They're so used to this thing out here. The good thing is there's not 100 beer cans and beer bottles from like the 70s and 80s up in here. Hanging on by a thread. No geocaching box. I highly doubt it. But it would be quite the spot to place one. Is there anyone out here? Anyone out here that used to live out here a long time ago? How long ago did you live out here? Are there any graves out here? Let's go ahead and take some pictures. Put my hand on this thing. I mean, see, this is one of them situations where if I scrape my hand or my arm against this, if I fail, you know, I got some scratches on my arm with the line work. That would also make me feel accomplished. Help me remember where I got it from. Ain't nothing like that memory of life. There's an old school cedar over here, probably about who knows, could be 130 years old. That could have been the old well right there, just drops down into a hole right there. I bet it's been metal detected 1,000 times. I wish they would have left some kind of date. They didn't think about that kind of stuff a long time ago. Beautiful, beautiful construction. There's a nail right there. Definitely gotta get some close-ups of that. This might be my only time coming out here. This is not easy to get to at all, unless you're incredibly prepared. I'm talking about you're dressed like a Yadier Molina or something. Eddie Perez in catcher's gear or something like that. Salvador Perez. Dang, that's awesome. Old house means what? Some kind of extension out here, probably. I just got finished taking some funny Da Vinci style pictures. You know, me against the wall, different poses, that kind of thing. Look at him stacking these rocks. My life gets scary every single day. You know, things are piled on top of each other. Got to read things in plan and elevation. See the line work around each geometry. Yeah, you guys are crazy out here. The entities force me into everything. They know places like this remind me of the good old days. Wonder if there was anything left behind. I bet this whole thing was a wood cabin. I'm slipping on the slippery rocks. Yeah, you could probably tell it was a wooden cabin. Sorry, little spider. I gotta get through if that's okay. I think there's at least one brick here. It looked just like the rock that I picked up. Made by the landscape. What God gave him. So there is at least one brick. Still have no clue how old it is. I'd say at least a minimum of 100 years old. Yeah, it gotta be the well. It's just dug out. Probably where they stored the wagon. A long time ago when they had a lot of land out here, back in early 1800s, mid 1800s, it probably went all the way back. Who knows what's in these woods over here? At least within the next couple of acres around here. We know for a fact it drops down. It drops down like you would never believe. That was probably their initial access to get up here. Was to come around down there and just come right up here. Who knows if they had livestock out here? Most likely they did. Who knows if they had kids? If they had kids, they had toys. Porcelain dolls. Marbles. Who knows if there's ancient graves out here? Well, you know what I mean by ancient. 1820s, 1840s. I bet I'm getting EVPs off the chain up in here. And they're gonna have me coming back out to investigate. Non-stop. I tell you all the time, how every place is always haunted, but it's not really haunted, it's just they're here. Everyone is everywhere. I'll never forget that EVP I got downtown Atlanta a long time ago, back in like 2016 or something, when I was trying to find Hardy Ivy's grave, and someone said, "We are all together." I know exactly what that means. Oh, there's a road that goes down here. Okay, I didn't see that. We are all together. I know exactly what that means. It's almost like now I'm hoping there's a trail cam so I can act the fool out here. People are going to see us on trail cam later when they get the SIM card out. You know, the memory card. They're going to say, "What the heck is going on out here?" There's a guy out here with a pair of grabbers and a swimsuit. All I know is we finally made it. Another great discovery. That goes that. It sounded like something prancing through the woods. You're going to say that's you in about 5 minutes. Quite the hike for someone who's as burned out as I am. Any evidence of someone investigating in this beautiful heaven? You can always tell by looking at the bank. If you see a couple of fine lines where boats have pulled up, that will tell you that somebody was here. But I don't see any. We're good to go. On to the next spot. Welcome to heaven.